So today I wanted to talk about something that's been rattling around up there that I haven't really been able to get out of my mind. And that's the idea that I'm not Australian. What do I mean by this? I mean, I don't really think I fit into the stereotype that we seem to have found ourselves in. I mean, the physicality of a stereotypical Australian male is, you know, tall, muscled, tanned. That isn't this. It all began to go downhill for me when I was talking to an American friend a few months back. Now, this was the first ever time that he'd actually heard my voice. He'd known I was Australian, but he'd never heard my voice before. Literally, the first words that came out of his mouth after I spoke were, "Are you British?" Now, just to clarify, I had known this person for 2 years. I'd talked to them pretty much every week. And somehow just me speaking once was enough to convince them I'd been deceiving them for that 2 years and that I was really not Australian. So this gets me thinking, what else apart from my accent doesn't make me traditionally Australian? Do I fail to qualify in certain areas? The other day I was on Facebook.
Oh, good for you!
And as I scrolled through, I found a video of a Cobra handler from overseas where one of his snakes starts getting really angry at him and he slaps it to control it. At the time, the top comment on that video was something along the lines of, "A typical everyday activity for an Australian." Is it though? Now, I like to think I'm confident with most animals, but slapping a cobra across the face isn't exactly what I consider a leisure activity. One thing I've also noticed is the media also tends to play up our beach culture a lot. And don't get me wrong, I love the beach, but I am literally the opposite to what you would imagine an Australian on the beach would look like. I'm tall, pale, and lanky. I share more physical connections with slender men than I do the average Australian. And if I do lay out in the sun to try and get a tan, it'll either end in third-degree burns or skin cancer, so a real Sophie's choice on that one. And then we come to Vegemite, the cornerstone spread of our culture. I enjoy Vegemite, but I rarely ever eat it on a, regular basis. Apparently to qualify as an Australian, you need to have like a Gollum level obsession with Vegemite. So with all this taken into account, I think it's abundantly clear that I fail to qualify as an Australian. I apologise for any of the deception that I've put you, the viewer, through. I did not mean to deceive you. I guess I've just lost my identity now, so I'll see you next time.